Welcome back here with Newsday. The community of Echuca have been working together to build a levee wall around the town to protect it from the rising Murray and Goulburn rivers. Joining us live from Echuca is the Nicholls MP Sam Birrell. Sam, really appreciate your time. Thanks so much. I understand you're just standing there on the banks of the river. How has it changed? What are you seeing there after the rain began?
Yeah, I'll just correct you, Ash. I'm in Shepparton. I'm unable to get to Echuca because the roads have all been cut. I'm getting some reports of what's going on there. Yes, I'm on the banks here of, it was our lake, our Victoria Park Lake, but it's the river has come and enveloped it. So it's the river and the lake are as one now. I'm seeing a lot of water recede in Shepparton. So it's back off the main street in many parts. Of course, we know that all of that water is headed down the Goulburn towards Echuca, who are bracing themselves for a very serious situation.
Yeah, it is looking pretty hairy there in Echuca. Glad that you clarified that about Shepparton. What have you seen there in Shepparton? What has the past sort of 24 hours been like for you and your community?
Shepparton, the river peaked on Sunday, and many houses have been inundated, and many people have been displaced. It's sort of that there's a phase where everyone's madly trying to sandbag, and then a phase where you've just got to wait and watch the water creep up, and that's a horrible feeling. And now, as we see the water recede, people are now reporting and seeing the damage that it's caused. So a really difficult time here in Shepparton as we see what this has done to houses and properties and businesses. And of course, further downstream, Echuca is just bracing for when the water gets to them.
So describe for us, Sam, the extent of the damage that you're starting to see.
It's hard to know yet, but thousands and thousands of homes have been inundated, we believe. We're still trying to, everyone's focus is trying to make sure that the people who are still isolated get what they need, whether it be food or medication. So there's a great volunteer effort going on, but also the emergency management and the ADF. We have 280 ADF personnel across the region, although I have suggested to the federal and state governments we need more. But yeah, as the water recedes, just the scene of just what floodwater does, which is destroys sort of, if the water's up to your waist and you didn't have time to prepare that well, then everything, just have a think about being in your house and everything below waist level has been saturated and destroyed. It's really, really heartbreaking.
It certainly is. I know that you've actually met with Emergency Management and Agriculture Minister Murray Watt a couple of days ago. I think that was in Seymour, north of Melbourne. You said that you'd like to see more ADF personnel on the ground there. What else are you telling the government? Obviously, this new Labor government, are you convinced they are doing everything they can, they get it, they know what's needed and will deliver?
Yeah, so far my dealings with Murray Watt have been great. He's been very responsive to me, I think, and he's offered all the support that he can.
Yeah, we've just had a few technical issues
the Victorian government maybe. Sorry about that. I'm back now.
Please continue, Sam. We've got you back. You're back. Continue with that.
Sorry about that. Yeah. So look, I was just saying, Minister Murray Watt's been great, been very responsive to what I've asked him for. The way these things work is the Victorian government's got to request the assistance. In a township in Rochester, to the west of my electorate, the Campaspe River broke its banks and destroyed 90% of the houses. Those people really would like to see some ADF get in there and help them with the cleanup. It might seem like the cleanup's not a priority, but it really is there. The sooner they can get those sodden carpets out, they might be able to save some floors, is what they're telling me, and they really need some help. So I've called upon some more ADF personnel to be deployed to Rochester to help with that cleanup.
We spoke earlier with the CEO of Grain Producers Australia. It's obviously a really heartbreaking time for a lot of farmers who are watching their crops drowning, essentially. The Victorian Premier described it as the food bowl for the nation. Just for those of us who might not be as familiar with these parts as you are, just how significant is this region in terms of providing Australia with food?
Well, the reason it's such a brilliant agricultural region is because two rivers meet here. and we've got these beautiful alluvial soils across our floodplain. Of course, that does mean we flood from time to time. The majority of Australia's apples and pears and peaches are grown right here in the Goulburn Valley, processing tomatoes, a huge amount of dairy exports. We're still waiting to see the full effects. The fruit trees are in flower at the moment, so we're waiting to see what effect this has on the upcoming crop, which will be harvested in February and March. A lot of milk is being poured out because you can't stop milking the cows, but the tankers haven't been able to get to many farms, so that's been causing a big problem. And as far as the cropping areas, not only have many of the crops been affected in terms of wheat, barley and canola, some of them are going to be okay, but the roads, and we've only got harvest in about a month and a bit, some of the roads to get that grain and oilseeds to where they need to go to the storage depots, the roads have been destroyed. So we really need a massive effort to try and repair this infrastructure in a timely way so that we can get back to making the money and the exports that pays for a lot of our infrastructure.
Yeah, it sounds like there's going to be a tough few weeks and months ahead as that recovery process gets underway. And of course, we're all watching, waiting to see how Echuca goes in the next few days. Sam Birrell, really appreciate you joining us live there from Shepparton. Thanks so much.
Thanks so much, Ash.